Greetings creatures, Tim Kreitz here, Tim Kreitz Adventures, back home here in West Texas on a cool rainy day after a fantastic trip to Southern California. The rain I am experiencing right now is a welcome respite from the 110-degree temperatures we had in Palm Springs, all of which happened after a solid 2 weeks of 100+ degree temperatures here in Texas before we left. So even though it's not a good riding day, I am most definitely enjoying the precip. This episode is going to be a debrief of SCMM 2016 and a look at some of the things you didn't see in my SCMM vid, which you can find immediately previous to this one in the episode list. I also want to talk a little bit about what went right, what went wrong, and my thoughts on the future of the SCMM meetup as it begins to grow exponentially bigger than any other gathering of its kind. Incidentally, I apologize for the shades, but I have been on the road with the band all weekend, did not get much sleep, and I have huge bags under my eyes that I don't want you guys to see. Musician life! Firstly, I want to express my thanks to everyone who made SCMM 2016 happen this year, specifically and more especially Suburban Delinquent, without whose know-how and tireless efforts the event might not have happened at all. If you participated in SCMM this year and haven't thanked Sub D, I would suggest you do so. Somewhere like the SCMM Facebook page, something like that. Just let him know how much you appreciated his efforts and hard work this year. The meetup was impeccable and it was heartwarming to get to meet so many friends and subscribers, both at Chaparral and at Desert Lodge. We rode together, we partied together, made new friendships, solidified old ones. It was great. CMM is unique in that manner by virtue of its design and its formula. SCMM begins with the meet at Chaparral but doesn't end with the subsequent procession. It ends with a massive party after the ride. And that's one of the major factors that sets it apart from any other similar gathering in the motovlogging world right now. When you take over an entire hotel and get the attention of national sponsors, you're doing something right. And I hope SCMM will become like a template for other motovlogger meetups across the US in the years to come. Thankfully, not much actually did go wrong this year, but some of our fears about SCMM 2016 did come true. The first SCMM crash happened during the procession from San Bernardino to Palm Springs, and while it looked really dramatic in the various videos from those who captured it, it resulted in no real injury to the rider and only minor damage to the bike itself. That's definitely something to be thankful for, but it was unfortunate that the first accident of the meetup happened in only the second year of the event. Another concern that came to fruition in 2016 was when someone tried to film at the pool party during the prohibited time. Thankfully, a couple of well-known and alert vloggers saw what was happening, confronted that person, and made sure that person deleted the footage. Lastly, the downside to the rapid growth of SCMM, for me at least, has been sort of that it's becoming harder and harder to spend quality time with any one person or group due to the size of the crowd. For example, there was a time when it took me 15 or 20 minutes just to get from the pool area to my room because so many people would stop me and want to talk. And I enjoyed every conversation very much, but I sort of felt bad in some cases because I was getting pulled in so many directions, and I'm a small vlogger. I know it was exponentially more of a concern for some of the guys with massive channels, and I hope no one took the limited amount of one-on-one time personally. One of the things that's always important for Britt and me to do when we come to SCMM is to make at least one dedicated ride to a must-see spot. The round trip for us from West Texas is 2,002 miles. And in addition to seeing everybody, we always want to make sure we take in the sights while we're in SoCal. This year it was Big Bear. I wasn't entirely sure what to expect on that ride because of the adverse weather from the dust and the sandstorm the night before. But despite the haze and the dirt in the air, I was immensely thrilled with that ride. I had to condense those scenes a bit in my SCMM episode, but we stopped a lot and took in the natural beauty of the area, which is plentiful. It was breathtaking, and I highly recommend a ride to Big Bear if you have never gone, for sure. I've been coming to California every year to ride motorcycles since 2014, when I first stayed with Suburban Delinquent, and we vlogged together in October of that year, I believe it was. And every time I've come through Arizona, I always see these huge billboards for something cryptically referred to as The Thing. Turns out The Thing is a throwback roadside attraction from the Route 66 era of post-World War II America. It was this time of great optimism and prosperity when everyone had a new car and was traveling to see the country in it. It was a great time in American history. Naturally, some strange roadside attractions started to pop up, and The Thing was one of them that still survives to this day. In a nutshell, you pay $1 admission to walk this gauntlet of strange exhibits and buildings that ends with The Thing, a very obviously fake mummy exhibit that was reportedly constructed by a freak show artist in the 1950s. It was definitely weird, and it's just the sort of letdown you'd expect from such an exhibit. But considering that it was only $1, it was fun, and it was sort of a step back in time to Americana of the early 60s. And it was fun to get a flavor for what was considered entertaining and strange during that period of history. And that'll do it for this episode of Tim Kreitz Adventures. We'll be back on the bikes in the next episode, and we have lots more to show you before the year's end. Until next time, take care of yourselves, take care of one another. I'm Tim Kreitz, and we'll see you then. Bye.
Me no like 'em things scare me.